my neck, my wrist, my car, my crib, yeah, all that shit. Try me, I might slap it.
Alright. I'm ready.
A lot of our viewers, like 70% of our viewers watch our videos on their phone, dude. Is that believable? It makes sense, right?
Yeah. I think most people watch YouTube on their phone. Right?
But then after that, you would think it's the computer, but really it's the TV. Like people watch us on their TV according to our analytics, and then it's computer, and then it's tablet.
Yeah.
And we have 21% females watching us.
Yeah.
Shout out to all our female viewers.
No, we're not. Is this how we're starting? We're starting with the analytics of our channel, and then we're shouting out to all the females out there. Shut the fuck up. We're not doing that, dude.
I'm just joking around, dude. Chill, dude. Don't take it so seriously. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the film, the American film Chopping Mall from 1986. Do you want to talk about why we watched it and how it came about, why we watched this film? Because you were on the Cinemums podcast with John Nearing.
Yeah, with John Lurie and Luke Mueller. And we were talking about, you guys should go check it out. They have a great podcast. We were talking about soundtracks, best soundtracks and scores in horror. And this is one of the movies that John recommended that he really liked. And it's kind of a little bit of a cult classic from the 80s. A little horror flick. And neither Luke and I had heard about it. And I was like, okay, that sounds really good when he was explaining it. We gotta watch that. And then we stumbled upon it. And you're like, let's watch this movie. Didn't you say you wanted to watch this?
Yeah, I want to watch it. Yeah, I like, the thing is, I like that cult horror stuff a lot. Like 80s sleazy horror. I'm not opposed to sleaze in my picture. I'm actually for it. I like sleaze and like gratuity and boobs and stuff in it and violence. And this is not just a horror film. It's kind of like a horror comedy tech horror film slash sort of a scathing critique on the 1980s Reaganomics of consumerism. Because it's 1986 and it takes place in a mall. Where they have created these 3 artificially intelligent robot security guards. And the premise is that a group of attractive high schoolers, but of course they're like supermodels, you know. Yeah. 80s, and like for a mall like that, like, you know, I could see them like hanging out in a mall like the Beverly Center, but for a mall like in Northridge, like the girls like aren't going to be that attractive there. But if like for like the Beverly Center, like they would be more attractive, you know what I mean? But anyway, basically the premise is that these group of friends in high school get trapped inside a mall with these killer robots, and that's pretty much the premise right there. There's not really much you can go into. I mean, you can kind of imagine it for yourself what happens. Yeah. You know, they start killing off the teenagers and then they have to fight back. But it has all the tropes of like a horror slasher, like all of like the ones that are boozing or having sex like get killed, and then the nerdy innocent ones survive in the end. Yeah. Which is like pretty much what happens. But to be honest, like the score didn't really stick out to me.
No, it didn't really stick out to me that much.
That was like I think that was a really random pick that John did. Yeah.
I like the movie. It's very much in like the same time frame as like RoboCop. Yeah. Starship Trooper. You know, very much like a commentary on Reaganomics.
Well, yeah. Also, another horror movie that takes place in a mall is George R. Romero's Day of the Dead. You know that. Or no, sorry, Dawn of the Dead my bad. I mixed. Dawn of the Dead is 1970s, but that also takes place in the mall, which is also kind of like a thing on consumerism and stuff, and like mind, like just, you know, consumerism taking over the mind. And it's like all these dead zombies in the mall and shit. Like, you know, Chopping Mall is what happens, like in the movie. It's kind of what Elon Musk and Bill Gates are worried about is the AI takeover. Yeah. Because you have these like robots that pretty much are just gonna kill, like after a certain time in the night, they go onto like their like defense mode, where it's like if anything that's anyone in the mall, unless they have their ID, is gonna get like killed. You know, so.
But then they, like, the thing is, they're doing their job fine. Like, the robots are working, but there's like a power surge that like fucks with the robots like coding. Oh, okay. And then that sets them off to like, even if you show your badge, they're still gonna kill you. Their coding or whatever it is all fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
and they are like indestructible beings. You know, like you can like try to blow them up and they're just gonna tip over. Like that's the worst thing that would happen, and they're gonna like stable themselves back up and then like keep killing people, and they like kill them by like slitting their throats, just like cutting their throats and shit. And like they're fucking crazy, but like it's insane that anyone would think this is a good idea in the first place. It's like, oh, to prevent theft, to prevent like, you know, fucking up the pyramid that is consumerism, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we've created these like death rays of like robots and shit. They're just gonna like stop thieves, you know? Like that's it. That's all they're built for, and like they're gonna kill in the most brutal way, and then like why would anyone ever think that's a good idea other than like it's a good movie, you know?
Yeah, well, they're just, like, but, you know, the way that they fight him is also, they fight them in a very American way, which is with a bunch of weapons and guns and explosives, and that's how they defeat them, because that's how you defeat your enemy here in America, is with fucking guns, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking modern warfare. That's how, like, if you have a problem, you gotta do it the American way, with assault rifles and lots of gunpowder, fire, which is how did they defeat them. Yeah, basically in the end, Lisa Corman produced Chopping Mall.
Julie Corman.
Oh, was it Julie Corman?
Yeah.
Okay, Roger Corman's wife. I like Roger Corman a lot. He's like a super influential, very much a trailblazer for like that B cinema of like the 60s and 70s, and a lot of our like favorite directors first started by working for Roger Corman and stuff, making like these sort of cheap B movie, you know, exploitation pictures.
Yeah, he's like the father of like modern day like pop kind of films, you know.
Yeah. He would make a movie a week, dude.
Yeah, he was great, dude. And then his wife Julie Corman produced this film, which is like, I think that is like great sway in like getting a movie made, you know? It's like, you know, that like she's gonna see it through, and like you have someone like Roger Corman's wife like backing you up like on this picture, and like it's gonna be like a good project. It's not gonna be like the best project, but it's probably gonna be like a really like fun project, you know?
Yeah, like it's not like it's kind of a predictable picture. Like it's not the greatest movie ever, but it is like a fun motion picture. But I can see how it has like its cult status, you know, because it's kind of like a goofy 80s, 1986, you know, fun, like low budge, 800, just a small 800,000 budge.
Yeah.
And originally it was called Killbots, but then the name tested poorly, so they changed it to Chopping Mall, which is a funny, it's a funny little name.
Yeah.
Because it's a shopping mall. It was funny when we were picking out this movie because we were specifically trying not to find like a horn dog movie, to, you know, because it was like we didn't want to be tempted, like because there's like hot blonde girls naked.
Yeah, and they're
sex.
Like you see like
sex in it.
Yeah, sex, and you see like bush, and you see like like nipples, awry.
Boob. Yeah.
Full on breasts, tisses.
And I know, like we said, that these are teenage girls, but really they're not. They're not. So they're not teenage girls.